Hello again, and welcome to the Super Target Store, which has absolutely nothing to do with this tutorial. I'm doing a follow-up to the tutorial I made on making your first Roblox game because apparently quite a lot of you wanted to see more of that. Well, I got the crappy little part in here. Let me just bring that over. So we're going to start today by making a kill brick. So to make your first script, you click this button right here that says script. So the absolute number one thing you need to know about coding is what variables are. Now, think of a variable as an empty cup that you can fill with whatever you want. It doesn't even necessarily have to be liquid. You could put your Roblox minifigs in there if you really wanted to. So you can do things like make it a number or a set of text or an object that you can find in the Explorer window right here. We're going to make the crappy little part a variable in a minute. So to define a variable, you just simply type in local, whatever you want to name the variable. We're going to name it. All right, perfect. But as you can see, our variable is equal to 5. You could also set it equal to hi or hey because I can't type. Or you can also have it equal to an object like this. Now you might be saying, curious, there's no object called script.parent in the Explorer window. What are you doing? So you start with the object you want to reference, and you can only start with one of three references. Either a variable you've already defined, game, which refers to your entire game. You can also start with workspace, which references, well, the workspace. But you can also start with script. So script is a direct reference to, well, the script. And if you put a dot parent after it, then it refers to the parent of that script. Now, parts in Roblox are organized in a family tree-like structure. This is the workspace. These are all the workspace's little crappy children. And then this is the children of one of those crappy little children. So consequently, this script right here, if you go up one on the hierarchy, the crappy little part is that script's parent. I don't know who you cheated on to give birth to a piece of paper, but whatever. So we're going and setting to script.parents, which in this case is the crappy little part. One thing we're going to do is something I mentioned in my video about making a nuke. We're going to use something called a Roblox script signal. So we're going to take right here, and we're going to press the dot button right here. Now you can use this to access any of the properties of which are these things in this window. But there are also a few other things with these purple lightning bolts. These are Roblox script signals. So the one that says touch is triggered whenever the part is touched. If we want to make a kill brick, this is what we're going to want to use. And then you put a colon and then connect after this, and then you type in function to create a new function. And a function is a group of code in Roblox. So anything that is in here will run whenever is touched. So we want to kill the player. Roblox script signals can have certain variables pulled from them. In the case of the touch Roblox script signal, you can reference the parts that touched it, which we'll just name that part, and we'll put that in between these two. Why am I forgetting what those are? Parentheses. If I were the one who did touch this, this is me, and one of these many parts would be the thing to touch the crappy little part over there. So obviously, since we want to reference the character, which is the model that represents the player, then you just simply take the parent of the part that touched it. And then you go to this thing called a humanoid. The humanoid is what determines things such as how much health the player has, how fast the player can run, and several other things that are specific to players in other NPC thingies. So whenever a player touches this part, we want to take that humanoid's health and set it to 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new variable for the humanoid because we got to make sure it actually exists. Now, why would you do this instead of just typing in .humanoid? What if the humanoid doesn't exist? If the humanoid doesn't exist and you reference something called humanoid, Roblox will freak out and cause the script to break, which in this case doesn't really matter, but in certain cases you probably don't want that to happen. What this will do is it'll simply just go ahead and look through all the parts or different objects in this case our Roblox character or what should be, and see if it finds a humanoid. And if it doesn't, then it's probably just some random part that touched it. And now we get into the fun part, if statements. Now what is an if statement? So we could do the if statement. If I got $1 million, I could actually do these videos more regularly. Or if I actually got the same amount of views as awesome given the same time frame, even though I put 4 times as much effort into my videos, then I would be happy. So think of it this way. If curious.video.view count is greater than 100, then curious.happy equals true. This is how you would structure an if statement in Lua, which is the coding language that Roblox uses. So how do you use this to figure out if the humanoid exists or not? Boom. if the humanoid exists. Just pretend the word exists is not there. Now, obviously, we don't want me to be happy if the humanoid exists. I will be dead. And how do you make me dead? You go humanoid.health equals 0. The health is a property of the humanoid, and setting it 0 will make me die. So now if I step in my crappy little part, I still die, but only I die. And if someone else were to step on the part, I would not die. They would die. And that makes me really happy. So if you did enjoy this video, then leave a like and subscribe. Tell the algorithm that this video is fantastic. And I will see you guys all in the next one.